Where is everybody? Okay, let's see. My computer's running a little slow, but there it goes. All right. Okay, I don't see anybody live with me yet, but that's okay. If you're just coming on to my video, this is another live broadcast, 24/7 live TBC broadcast. Let me adjust my screen here. Da, 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 da. Okay, my name is Paul, and this is episode 58, and today's date is June 4th, 2018. And the title of this episode is 2 Classes of Cookie Rewards. 2 classes of cookie rewards. This is pretty cool, people. I'm going to explain this to you, well, as far as I understand it. And I'm not sure if I understand it right, but I think I do. Okay, let's see here. First, let me go over what TBC is. TBC is short for the billion coin. It's a cryptocurrency that came out 2 years ago. We had our 2nd year anniversary March 21st of this year. And we are not on a market exchange, okay? Because a market is the central banking system's system, okay? They control that system. When you put something on the stock market or any kind of a market, or even when you purchase real estate, purchase a car, you take out a loan, you're dealing with the banking system, okay? And they tell you it's all good, okay? But on the stock markets, they do what they call pump and dump. They come in and buy what they want because they got all the money, right? And it raises the prices up, and then they dump, which means they sell. So if you've got coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin and Monero and whatever, Dash, but let's just concentrate on Bitcoin because they're the most popular coin. They've been around the longest. They were the first. And they're right there at the top of coin market cap because they're the most expensive on the market. Now, of course, our coin, the billion coin, is a zillion times more expensive because we base ours on an algorithm which is valued by you and I, members that join our community. Each time a person joins our community, the billion coin community, it raises the price of our coin by 1 grain of gold, which currently is worth $2.80. Okay, so that's how our system works. So think about that. The price of our coin can never go down because we have people joining every day. In fact, it's only going up every day. We have thousands of people joining every day, so it just goes up like nuts every day. So that's why it's the most expensive coin. Division of our coins is called Kringles, where division of Bitcoin is called Satoshi, right? Okay, so anyway, if you've got Bitcoin and it's on the market, which it is, then you don't really know what the price is going to be tomorrow. It all depends. It could go up, it could go down. Of course, we all want it to go up every day and keep going up. But that's not going to happen if it's on a market. Okay, but if you hang on to it, don't mess around with trading it, but just buy it and hang on to it, it will always go up every 12 months from what it was 12 months before. So because of supply and demand, there's only going to be made 21 million Bitcoins. And that's it. Obviously not enough to feed the world, but it was the first cryptocurrency to come out. Satoshi Nakamoto is what he called himself. He created the blockchain technology, created the platform, and then he created a cryptocurrency on that. Because you can use the blockchain technology for all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to show you today. I'll give you an example of what's going on out there. Okay, so anyway, he designed it just to succeed. So he gave it a limit of only 21 million coins and put it out there. Okay, and then he was very, very smart about what he was doing. And 2 years later, he stepped back and out of it, because it came out in 2009. He really started to do something in 2010. In 2011, he realized, I need to step away, because the owners and the miners of Bitcoin are a little bit stressed out that I might change the plan later on. Maybe I'll decide to double the coins and make it 42 million instead of 21 million. Well, that would devalue the coin right there by half the price. Okay, so he was smart, and he just backed out. Okay, and he left it up to the miners, and I think there was one guy he kind of left in charge of it. Anyway, there was a forum, and people could go to the forum and get their questions asked from each other. And they weren't really called exchanges. They were payment services that were being used, and those ended up turning into exchanges, and the rest is history. I heard about it in 2011, but I thought it was nuts, so I didn't do anything about it until 2016. The end of 2016, I realized it wasn't going away. And so I took a look at what blockchain was, and I said, holy moly, okay, this is the future. Okay, it was like, you know, the internet when it first came out. I always explain that. I always mention that. You know, you weren't really sure what the internet was. You weren't really sure if it was going to stick around, and it did, okay? And it matured within 10 years. By 2000, it was just unreal. After 2000, it was just incredible. But it fully matured because everybody came in during the 90s. People started waking up to what the internet was and what they can do. And after 2000, you started having all these Google search engines. Social media started to show up, and it just got crazy, right? Okay, but it's never going away. Blockchain technology, as a result of the internet, is never going away. So we're going to have digital money. We've had digital money for many, many years. Okay, a Visa card, MasterCard, computers, we've had digital money. The thing is, it's not really money. It's just currency. It's backed by nothing. The central bankers have taken the gold away and kept it to themselves. Okay, Nixon took it away in 1971, and with the promise that they were going to bring it back in 4 or 5 years. They never intended to do that, and it never did. Okay, they had some lame excuse that speculators were out there and messing with the price of the gold, and they needed to do this and do that, and so we need the gold for a while. And basically, we've had complete fiat currency since 1971. Okay, but in order to distract the people from that, they brought out those pieces of plastic. MasterCharge, I think, was the first one, and said, hey, you guys can go and use this credit and buy whatever you want and make payments to us with interest. Okay, that's what they do. Okay, as you know, and I shouldn't have to tell you, we're like, what, $22 trillion in debt? Our government, we the people, they tell us you guys are in debt. Well, that's not the way the Constitution was set up for us to ever be in debt for any country. Well, for America, but any country had their own constitution, they could do the same thing. But eventually, the banking system took over their government too. Okay, the stronger they got, the more wealthy they got, the more people they could buy, the more politicians they could buy, the more governments they can control. And then all hell would break loose because they'd come into a country and strip it of its resources and cause chaos for the people because they don't care about people at all. Okay, this is just a few individuals we're talking about. But they have a very strong system because they could buy lots of people. They can't buy everyone, but they could buy lots of people. So we, the people, don't have money in our hands anymore. So we can't own our own politicians. We can't own our government. We haven't since 1913, when Woodrow Wilson passed the Federal Reserve Act and gave our money over to a private bank called the Federal Reserve Bank. It's a private bank. It can be audited, but it has so much power, not once has it ever been audited since 1913. But we're going to get it audited now. Why? Because we've got a president in office that's not bought and paid for. Okay, he's the third president that we've had since Woodrow Wilson that's not been paid and bought for by the central banking system. Okay, and he's got the patriots behind him. So he is changing things. He's getting rid of the central banking system. And I'll show you proof of what's going on if you don't believe me. But you can just look at the news and what's going on in different countries around the world, and you can see what's going on with the US dollar / Federal Reserve note. Okay, so back to what we are. We are a coin that cannot be manipulated by the central banking system or wealthy people. We have a small amount of centralization, which means control over who we or how we distribute our coin. That's right. We don't let the rich come in and just buy what they want. You can do that with Bitcoin. You can do that with any coin on the exchange. If you're a multi-billionaire, you can come in and buy all the coin you want. And then it's yours. What's left over? There's a supply and demand. What's left over for the rest of the people? Not enough to cure anything. Okay, but it is an option. Because it is real money, it's an option to protect your fiat wealth, which is not really wealth. It's an illusion, right? You got $200,000 in the bank, or you got it in an IRA or a 401k or whatever. It's in the stock market. It's an illusion. You can lose it just like that, and you've seen people do it. I've seen people lose it just like that. I've seen people lose their homes in 2008 here in Las Vegas. It was unreal. We were having an amazing real estate boom in Las Vegas like you wouldn't believe. You had to be here to see it or live here to experience it. It was unreal. The value and the prices of houses were just shooting through the roof. People were selling, and they had so much money left over that they were throwing it here and there and buying stuff. And, you know, it was just amazing. But it was an illusion. It was a bubble, and it burst. And people lost their homes. To who? To the bank. The bank just took it. Oh, here's our fake money. You can buy the house. We'll loan it to you. And now we're going to take your house. That's what we do. We take everything you have. Oh, we'll loan you money for a car. Here's the money. You pay us interest. But if we feel like it, you know, or if you default on your payment, we'll take that car. That car will be ours now. Now we'll sell it. Whatever. This is how they work, and this is what has been all the problems in the world. 7.6 billion people in this world. We only have 2,200 and a little few extra billionaires. Okay? 2,200 billionaires out of 7.6 billion members or people, not members, well, members of the human family, right? In the world, and you wonder what the problem is. Okay, so things are changing, okay? Because cryptocurrency is now here, and it's not going away. Blockchain technology is not going away. It's being used for all kinds of things because it's private. It's like a ledger. It keeps track of everything, but it doesn't tell you who's on each end of it. Okay, so it gives the power back to us. Okay, and now the billion coin started out 2 years ago with 171 like-minded individuals. Okay, that's very important to understand. Like-minded individuals. They weren't selfish. They weren't greedy. They understood the mission statement, which was, we are going to create 1 billion coins, no more. But we are going to create 1 billion coins. And we're going to create, we have this algorithm that will raise the price up for every member that joins us. Okay, and it will top out at our first billion people, billion members, our first billion members that have some kringles. Okay, even if they have only one kringle, we'll top out the max, we'll max the price out. Okay. So right now, since it's based on gold now, grains of gold, which is $2.80, a billion grains of gold will be worth $2.8 billion if you have just one coin. Okay. If you have just one coin, many of us have hundreds of coins. Okay. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's not because we got in first. I didn't get in for a full year later, but I understood it when I found it. Okay. After I got my Bitcoin and got in, realized what that was and made a small purchase of Bitcoin and just was going to sit on it. I kept doing some research on the Bitcoin, watching videos on YouTube, and something popped up that said TBC, the billion coin. And I said, I never seen that before. What is that? I don't remember seeing that on the CoinMarketCap. And I looked it up and they said, we're not on the CoinMarketCap. We don't trade them. I said, what? Is it real then? So I kept reading because I understood already how the central banking systems worked. Okay. I was just one of those individuals who had understood it because my mom was not involved, but she understood it. She was into that kind of stuff. And I was just, out of my brothers, 3 brothers I have, I was the only one that was interested in that stuff. So she bought me the books. But I was fascinated with it. I was fascinated with the Rothschilds, fascinated with the Rockefellers, fascinated with all these people that were billionaires and how they became billionaires. And that's what got me involved in that until I realized what was going on. Okay. But so let's see, where was I? Oh, so it popped up and I looked at it. Okay. And in reading it and watching it, then I would, watch another one. I'd find another one there. And then I'd find another one. There wasn't very many a year ago, okay? In fact, I only remember a total of 11 videos that I had found. But after watching those 11, then I went on to the main site and I looked at the algorithm and I looked at the calculators. I looked at the blog posts and which the admin, the creator, actually it's a team effort. There's more than one. Well, we just call him admin. We call him. Okay, he calls himself Chris Kringle. That's why, divisions of our coin are called Kringles, because he's Santa Claus. He gives the coin out. Because we're based on an algorithm where if the coin is in your hand, that's going to raise the price. We're going to have an economy that much faster if we could get it into people's hands. Okay, so we're giving it away free. Now, here's the situation. Okay, we started out with 171. Okay, we grew by 100,000 the first 12 months. So I got involved like a couple of days after the first year anniversary. So it was about the 23rd of March when I made my first purchase. And then the next day I said, this is crazy. I gotta purchase some more because this is the coin that's going to do it. And so I've never looked back since then. And I've read all the blog posts. I started reading all the blog posts because by then there had already been a year of them because he posts every day. Sometimes multiple posts a day. Now, do you have somebody like that doing that in other cryptocurrencies? I don't know. But there was a support system with Bitcoin, sort of. It's just among themselves. Okay, with those forums they had. But this is a system here where we're actually a community. We actually have a little bit of control. Okay, the blockchain platform is, of course, completely decentralized, but the wallet system is ours. You have to get a wallet from us. Okay, whereas other cryptocurrencies, any company can create and say, okay, I have a wallet system going. All these trading exchanges can do the same thing. And they're not decentralized, which means they can be regulated. But we have a system where we have a control, and we will keep control for just until we get to our first billion people. And then it becomes a decentralized wallet because there's no reason after that to keep control. Okay, so we get to control who comes in and who doesn't. So we have a marvelous system. that does that for us automatically. We don't have to even mention it, but a lot of us do. But it will do it for us, because when a person signs up, and it's really easy to sign up to the Billion Coin community. You just they just ask you for a name, your email address, which has got to be a real email address, because you will get an email. And there's like 3 different sites. The main site you register, then there's a wallet that you register, and then there's the back office, Kringle Cash back office. So you get an email from each one that will ask you to, click on a hyperlink that says, please confirm, or please validate, or please whatever. And you click on that, and then that sets it up. If you don't click on it, if you don't find those emails, then you're not going to get anywhere. So look in your spam. It will tell you that when you get on the site. And then it asks you what country you live in, and it will ask you to make up a password. Okay, that's how easy it is. Okay, and last year we started giving the gift away, and we were giving it away for free. Everything was free. The back office was free. The wallet was free. But people were not putting any value on it. Okay, in spite of the fact that when we started a year ago, I think the gift was only around $17. They were giving it to us. Even the ones who had already become a member, they gave it to us. So I remember getting that gift for $17. And of course, we grew from 100,000 people to 3 million in the next 12 months. So the price of that went way up. It's like over $4,000 in just a year. But people, again, didn't put any value on it, because they either didn't understand really what cryptocurrency was. They didn't understand, well, can we use this at the store? No, not yet. But you can use it amongst yourselves. Well, how do you do that? Well, just like bartering, blah, blah, blah. You have to educate people and let them know this is a coin that's always going to go up in value. So if they take your coin, say you buy something from them for $100, the next day it's going to be worth more than $100. The next week, more than that. Okay, and it's going to keep going up until it's worth, who knows, $1 million maybe, by the time we get our billion people. So this is a coin you won't accept. Okay, but you have to talk to people. It's an education process. It's not like social media where people just flock. Oh, this is a way to keep, in contact with my friends and my family. Bam, they just come. Okay, but then you say cryptocurrency, and it's like, what is that? It's a different animal. You have to do some educating, and that's why we're here doing this education. Now, so that's what we are. Okay, that's the basics of what we are. And the potential is there. And our mission is to eliminate global financial poverty. And that is what exactly we are going to do. Okay, we are going to create 1 million billionaires, not 2,200, 1 million billionaires. And we're in that phase right now. How are we going to do that when our coin is so expensive? Believe me, we have ways. We're giving it away. All you have to do is practically nothing. Or if you want, you can work. And the work is just getting the news out to people and bringing them into the community. And you'll get rewarded free coins. Okay? They don't even have to pay me. Okay? I'm doing this, but they are rewarding me. I'm glad that they are. I'm grateful for it. But when they said, at the 2nd year anniversary this year, and hey, we're going to be migrating over to a super fast blockchain. We've built a super fast blockchain because we don't want the problems that Bitcoin is doing, having to fork off and create new coins, and they can't be accepted everywhere in the world at the same time. They can't even transact as fast as Visa or MasterCard. So if we want to be a solution, not just an option, but a solution, then we have got to have faster transactions, as fast as Visa and MasterCard. We got to be able to do 2,000 transactions a second, like they do, average. Okay, so that's what they did, was they built one, because technology doubles every 18 months, and that old blockchain was built in 2009. Here we are in 2018. Okay, so we are migrating currently right now. We just started migrating over to, we're taking 3.2 million people, and we're going to migrate them over to a new blockchain. And when we're done, which we hope to be done by July 31st, and it's not a big deal. We stay open. People can continue to join, but now they're joining the new blockchain platform, right? They're not joining the old. But the members that were on the old, we're migrating them over. And it's a pretty simple process, okay? But we're still taking our time to make sure everything goes smoothly. And then when we're done, it's like flipping a switch. Those servers shut down and they disappear, and that's the end of that. That's the end of the old system and the old wallet system. Okay, so we're getting a new wallet system too. But also we've come out and admin said, listen, nobody is taking us serious. We're just giving the coin away for free. So let's charge them something. Well, we don't want to charge too much because, you know, it's a free gift. Well, what's the gift worth right now? Well, it's worth about $2,000, about $2,100. So we're giving $2,100 away to anybody who wants it in the world. Whether you're a day-old baby or you're the oldest person living in the earth. We're giving it away. Okay, let's charge $10. How's that? Us in America, that's no big deal. Us in first world countries is no big deal. Second world, third world, and developing countries, yeah, it might be a little bit tough when these people are only averaging $1 or $2 a day. But they can still do it, can they? Okay, it's not too much. And what do they get for that $10? Okay, they get $2,100 worth of Pringles. And now they can actually do some stuff with that. And I'm not going to get into that today, but it has to do with our promos, okay? It just starts to accelerate from there. And I'm telling you people, you want to be a billionaire? You can with our system. You can with the billion coin. In spite of the fact that we've already been out there for 2 years and we have 3.2 million people, that is nothing. We're trying to get to 1 billion people, right? If we grow 30 times again this year, which is what we grew last year, we'll be at 90 million. The community of Bitcoin owners is about 12 million. So a year from now, we'll have 7 times the economy that Bitcoin has right now. Okay, everybody will be accepting our coin as money. Okay, so now I want to talk about a blog that came out a day or two ago. Okay, that has to do with the 2 sets of cookie rewards. Okay, up until now, we have been getting 1 set of cookie rewards. And this blog came out, and a lot of people have been asking me, Paul, I don't understand this. I'm just confused about this. And so I decided I was going to spend some time and go over that particular blog. Okay, so let me go over and, well, first of all, let me just share my screen. Okay, I believe I am sharing my screen. No, it doesn't look like I am. What did I do wrong? Oh, there we go. Okay. When this pulls up, this will be the blog that I'm talking about. See, 2 classes of cookie rewards, and it gives a picture of the broadcaster cookie rewards and the basic cookie rewards. And so see, now there's 2 different systems, 2 different cookie rewards. Okay. And so this is mostly for people, obviously it's not for new people, they wouldn't understand this, but for those of you who may need an explanation on how this works, I hope to give it to you right now. Okay. The chart is here. Okay. And then the blog is below. Now, what I've done is I copied the blog and I put it on just a regular Google document. And then we go to that. Okay. And let's just read this. Okay. Admin says, you may have already noticed this new table in the cookie rewards section of your Kringle Cash back office. Now, I highlighted this in yellow because this next sentence is very important. This will develop further because I already see some activities that also should be rewarded as we build out our TBC economy. What is that telling us? It's telling us that he's going to continue, as he always does, in bringing out more and more promos to make it easier and easier to get this coin into people's hands and to build our community so that we can get to our goal as fast as possible. Because things are happening in the world and we need to get this done. Okay? But there's good things happening and there's some bad things. But the good things are overwhelming right now because of what is happening. Okay, now back to what he's saying. Bear in mind that it, and this is really important, that's why I highlighted it in blue, will take at least 2 more years to have a fully developed TBC economy. Now, what he is saying is, and I have said this, that we should be at a full billion members, our first billion members, within 2 years. And I also say 3 years at the most, okay? But you know how fast 3 years will go by, people. It's just time goes by, especially when you're my age, right? Okay, so he's not telling us anything new here. This is just basic common sense. We've got 3.2 million, almost 3.3. And we need to get to a billion to have a full developed economy, not a partial economy, which we will have sooner than that. We'll be using Kringles, believe me, at stores just like Bitcoin is. We'll be doing it a lot more than Bitcoin can because there's no volatility in our price, right? But he's just stating a fact that it's going to take at least 2 more years to have a fully developed economy. That means 1 billion people that will have our coin. Okay, and then he goes on and says, up until now, the rewards were given equally to all on a first come, first served basis. Okay, and then he mentions an article on the blog that he wrote. And you can click on that and go read that, and I highly recommend you do. And then he goes on to say, in fact, this is part of, I think, what he said on the video. I'm not sure. No, I guess not. But it does have like a quotation mark there. But anyway, it says, I have been thinking deeply about the rewards of the TBC builders. Now, what is a TBC builder? I've had people ask me that. A TBC builder is just simply someone who goes out and refers the free gift to other people, their friends, their family members, anybody they care about. They're going to tell them, hey, get your free Kringles. Spend $10 and get $2,100 worth of our coin. And then you can become a billionaire after that. I'll show you how to do it. It's really simple. Now, if people are doing that and bringing in people on a regular basis, if it's 1 a week, if it's 1 every 2 weeks, then they're considered a TBC builder, okay? That's all it takes. Is just communicating and bringing others into our community, because we're not going to go anywhere if all the coins stay in the admin's hands. It doesn't do us any good, okay? It's going to do us good when we have the coin in our hands, okay? All of us, okay? So, and it goes on and says, and the other TBC members, whatever you want to call them, okay? As I have said many times before, TBC is all about spreading opportunities and not about spreading obligations. Okay? Now, again, he's not saying that everybody has to be a builder, but he's going to go on and tell you the difference between a builder and someone that's just a bystander, someone who just accepts the coin and sits on it and doesn't do anything about growing our community, which is what it's all about. Okay, but you can still be a bystander. That's fine. Okay, so he goes on and says, once we have fully matured and have a million billionaires and a billion millionaires, what should be the main difference between the two categories? Should it just be timing? Should those that got in early and paid $110 to get to be billionaires? Is that healthy? Should those that got in early and paid and then just sat quietly in the background get the same reward as the hard-working TBC builders that also got in early and paid? That's not right. That's not right at all. If we don't fill up the billionaire zone of our TBC economy in May, then as of June 1st, which was 4 days ago, okay, that was me. He's saying as of June 1st, 2018, there will be 2 sets of cookie rewards. Okay, so we're already into this 2 sets of cookie rewards. I don't know if the redemption being extended to the 7th has anything to do with that, but all I'm going by is what he's saying right now, right here. And I believe he came out with this after he extended the redemption period till the 7th. Okay, those of you who are in the system know what I'm talking about. But keep this in mind. As of June 1st, there will be 2 sets of cookie rewards. The amount of cookies a TBC builder will earn will be 1,000 times higher than what the other members will earn in cookies. Okay? So that's what he's saying. Now it goes on and he says, I do my best to give you all advance notice of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Okay? He always has, hasn't he? And this is just doubling down and letting you guys know that he will always tell us in advance of what he's doing and why he's doing it. This is one of the things I just absolutely love about the Billion Coin is admin, the creators of this coin and their mission. I'm right there. Okay? All right, the next paragraph, he says, the main objective of the distribution phase, which is moving coins out of the admin wallet into the people's wallets, is to create a million billionaires and a billion millionaires for a sustainable TBC economy based on the principle of abundance for all. Can you get behind the idea of abundance for all? Now, why do you think he said that? Why do you think he put you and abundance for all in capitals? Can you get behind the idea of abundance for all? Because people, you won't get behind it if you're selfish. You just won't. I mean, if you are behind it, that means that when you go outside and get in your car, if you've got a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, and your neighbor has one, and the next neighbor has one, and the next neighbor has one, you're okay with that. In fact, that just thrills you every day that you could go out and everybody has as nice a car as you do. That thrills you. It makes you happy that people have the same kind of a house as you do because you're abundant. They're abundant too. You drive down the street and there's no bad neighborhoods. There's no rundown nothing. There's no people living in tents on the street. Okay, there's nothing out there that is currently out there because of the lack of money. You have no problem with that. You're not selfish. You're not greedy, right? That's what admin is telling us. Can you overcome any kind of selfishness and greed to get behind this idea of abundance for all? Because if you don't, you're certainly not going to tell anybody about it, aren't you? You're just going to say, man, I sure hope everybody else does the work for me and I can become a billionaire and then, I can show off how I got rich to my neighbors. I can look really cool in my really cool, expensive clothes and out there in my private jet and whatever. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? Okay. And then he goes on and he says, I think it is our best shot at global happiness. Okay. Well, of course it is. Okay. Now, it's not going to be total happiness. We're never good. Money's never going to get rid of hate. Okay. But it will get rid of all crime due to lack. It will get rid of a lot of grief, horror, tragedy, poverty, starvation, and even a lot of disease that comes because of those things. Okay. He goes on to say, but as you can see, we will create two classes of it during our distribution phase. Okay. Two classes of what? Two classes. One's going to be billionaires and one's going to be millionaires. Right? Like I said before, he goes on, timing should not be everything. In other words, just because we're new and you got in early should not be the reason why you're going to be wealthier than the rest of the people that got in later. That's an unfair system, plain and simple. That's the way it is in all kinds of programs, companies, opportunities, systems, network marketing, multi-level marketing, on and on and on. Cryptocurrencies, it all is based on that system. Get in first, and you'll be richer than everybody else. Well, how long has the company been on? Oh, we've been around for 6 months. Oh, I think I probably missed the boat. Okay, well, no, you haven't missed a boat with the billion coin. It's not how we work. Okay. He goes on to say, TBC builders work very hard while the TBC bystanders just watch them do the work on the occasions they desire. Now, keep in mind, he's using the word TBC builders. Okay, and then he compares that to TBC bystanders, who just watch the builders do the work on the occasions they desire. It goes on and he says, should the early TBC bystanders get the exact same rewards as the early TBC builders? No. They should not get the same reward for obvious reasons. So let's stretch out the opportunity over much more time to become a TBC billionaire to those willing to do the required work. This is a very important sentence. Again, let me repeat it. So let's stretch out the opportunity over much more time to become a TBC billionaire to those willing to do the required work. Okay? This is awesome, friends, fellow TBCians. He goes on and says the TBC bystanders can enjoy this emerging TBC economy as a TBC millionaire once we complete the distribution phase. That just makes sense all the way around. Now we're getting into something even more exciting. Okay, here's the next sentence. TBC broadcasters. Okay, he changed it from builders to broadcasters because there's two different things here. You know what a broadcaster is? It's us that are doing these videos. TBC broadcasters are the highest version of a TBC builder. Now, I am just going to tell you, if you're wondering, I am the one that puts things in bold, but I do not capitalize anything unless he has capitalized it on the original blog. And I have also highlighted things that I really want you to understand because we can read through these things and just not catch things, okay? But I just have this gift for catching things when I read, okay? Things just pop out at me. It's been that way my whole life. I don't know why. But anyway, it's like contradiction. I see contradictions so fast and so easy. It used to drive my family crazy. Okay, but I also saw contradiction in myself when I would contradict myself. I would see it immediately and being super embarrassed and hope nobody caught it. Okay. And it was the same thing with other hypocrisy. I've always seen hypocrisy just leaps out at me. Okay. Even though I've been a hypocrite many times, but that's the way I've been. So I will tend to, all the books I've ever written, they're all highlighted, they're underlined. It's crazy. And now that things are on the internet, this is what I do. So just to let you know, I am not capitalized anything unless he did. Okay. So again, he says TBC broadcasters are the highest version of a TBC builder. Okay. And then he goes on and says, we will not succeed in overcoming the assured resistance from the status quo without at least 1 million voices united in the message of abundance for all. Okay. At least 1 million voices united in the message of abundance for all. Okay. Now hang in there because it's just getting better. Okay, it goes on. He says, we need to unify 1 million voices and stand up strong and unstoppable. Hopefully, the TBC bystanders will appreciate all that these TBC broadcasters will do for them as we mature this movement over time. Let's take a look at the tables in the above image carefully to see how the distribution phase is set up at this time. Please note that the gift of 25,000 cookies will not expire, even though everyone can see or can still see a countdown that goes to the end of September 2018 inside the dashboard area of their Kringle Cash back office. Of course, we see that every time we go into our Kringle Cash back office, we see that timer. But it's not going to end. He just told us it's not going to expire. And he goes on and he says, listen to this. We have plenty of Kringle coins to just give away during the whole distribution phase. This is a very generous gift today, and it will only go up as the value of our coins go up. Next thing he says, for a limited time only, we are giving 1 million cookies to the TBC broadcasters, and the TBC bystanders will get the basic cookie rewards of 1,000 cookies for attending the weekly send button meetings. Okay, now we know that 1 million cookies is worth $84,000 at the current price of gold. $84,000 is what 1 million cookies are. So what's 1,000 cookies? 1,000 cookies is $84. That's the difference. 1,000 times more he's going to give to broadcasters for attending that send button meeting every Monday. Now, obviously today they had to cancel it because they're having issues with the host. The host had a stall. If you read the blog, you understand it, especially if you know a little bit about computers. Okay, so it's not a big deal. It just takes 12 to 24 hours to fix it, to put in new disks. Okay, now, so we'll have one. I don't know if he's going to bring it on again during this week or if he's going to wait till next Monday, but we'll see. But anyway, now that's the difference. Okay, now if we look at the chart, we can see that. Okay, here's the broadcaster cookie rewards. Here's the meetings right here. 1 million. Okay, 1 million. Okay, that's what it looks like right there. That's worth $84,000 right now because our coin is at $8.4 million for one full coin. Okay, the basic cookie rewards, which are people who are not doing broadcasting, okay, Their meetings, they're going to get 1,000. Okay, 1,000, which is less than the gift. It's only 1/25th of a gift. A gift is worth $2,100 approximately, right? 1,000 is worth 1/25th of that, which is $84. Okay, so I hope you understand that now. Okay, we were getting, all of us, I believe we were all getting $1 million when we would attend the basic, when we would attend the send button meeting. Okay, but not anymore. The only way to stay getting $1 million is to start doing broadcast. Okay, do you understand what he's doing here? He wants you to do a broadcast. He wants you to take a time to learn how to do a broadcast. You don't have to do a broadcast every day. If you do one broadcast, and he's going to talk about this, you're going to deserve the reward for doing that. If you could do it once a week, do it once a week. If you could do it twice a week, do it twice a week. Okay? But be consistent. Be consistent. That is the most important thing, is consistent. And when it comes to being good at something, all it takes is consistency and passion as a fuel. Okay? That's the way I've always felt and always been understood about everything that my parents taught me. You know, Paul, if you want to be good at something, you got to be consistent at it, and you've got to love what you're doing. You got to have passion, because otherwise it's not going to fuel you to be consistent. Okay? Now watch what he says again here. Not again, but watch what he says as we go on through this. Now I lost my... Here we go. Okay. So now you understand the difference between what you're going to get when you look at the send button. Okay? Broadcasters are going to get 1 million cookies worth $84,000. Non-broadcasters will get 1,000 cookies today worth $84. It's still $84. So believe me, people, are you going to let $84 just go in the trash can? No, collect it. Watch the send button meeting. You got 24 hours even after it's live to click on and watch it. Okay. All right. Now, TBC broadcasters simply deserve more, 1,000 times more, for attending this critical meeting each week. It is mandatory to either attend or to watch the rebroadcast of it within 24 hours of the live broadcast of it in order to be considered a TBC broadcaster. Okay? In other words, if you're doing broadcasting, if I'm doing broadcasting, which I'm doing right now, and I don't attend the send button meeting, then I'm not considered a broadcaster. I don't deserve any of the awards of being a broadcaster. I have got to watch that video once a week. And why? He's going to go on and tell us why. Broadcasters really do need to stay current on what is going on within the TBC community. So knowing what was said in each meeting is vital. Making a purchase of at least $100 is the simplest way to lock yourself in as either a millionaire or future billionaire within the TBC community. Broadcasters get 1,000 times more rewards when they purchase over the bystanders. Okay? Here's the next real important thing to realize, because this is a change now, and it's massive, and it's for an awesome, awesome reason. It is going to benefit every single person in our community. I highlighted it again in blue. TBC broadcasters get 100 million cookies for each set of $100 purchased in coins. While the TBC bystanders are just simply people that are not broadcasting, okay, or building. They're just sitting on whatever they've come in on their gift. will receive 100,000 cookies as a reward. Okay, so what is the difference between that? Well, it's easy. We were all getting 100,000, okay, for $100, right? One full coin. That's one full coin. 100,000 cookies is worth 100,000 Kringles, which is worth one full billion coin. Okay, but now the only people that will be able to do that for $100 are broadcasters. Now, don't worry. Don't worry. Let me finish this. If you haven't read this, hang in there, because there's some pretty exciting things coming up here. Okay, and then it says, while the bystanders will receive 100,000 cookies. Okay, so what is 100,000 cookies worth? $8,400. $8,400. Now, instead of a person, complete brand new person coming in and spending $100, or even a bystander saying, I want to be a billionaire, I'm gonna purchase $100, I'm gonna get 100 million cookies. I'm only gonna get 100,000 cookies. Instead of turning my $100 into $8.4 million and a potential of $2.8 billion, I'm going to receive $8,400 for my $100. That's still incredible leverage. Where else can you spend $100 and get back $8,400? Okay? Okay? Now come on, people. Listen to what he says here. If needed, we will adjust these numbers down later. If needed, okay, right here. If needed, we will adjust these numbers down later, but only if it becomes necessary. Okay, really, I should have highlighted this. Okay, even if I just highlighted it in yellow, it's pretty important to understand what he just said there. And then he goes on and says, since purchases generally happen quickly after a new member joins us, I have made it possible for a brand new member to immediately become a TBC broadcaster. In the last paragraph of this article, I will explain that in detail. That's why I'm telling you guys, hang on, okay? I know it's been an hour, but hang on. Getting 100 referrals is rewarded equally between the TBC broadcasters and TBC bystanders. Okay, now that makes complete common sense and complete logic. If you've got a bystander that goes out there and gets 100 people, that's a builder. That's it. They get the top rewards if they do that. Okay, and then he goes on and says, because a bystander that recruits 100 new members is certainly a TBC builder, even if for one reason or another they choose not to be a TBC broadcaster. Okay, and you'll see that reflected in the chart. Okay, referrals, 1 billion cookies for 100 members gets you 10 full coins. What does that do for the bystander that decides to go out and get 100? The same thing. 1 billion cookie, which will turn into 1 billion Kringles on a redemption period, 10 full coins. 10 full coins that will, currently it's worth 8.4 million per coin. So that would be 84 million coins, right? And it's going to be 10 times 2.8 billion. Okay, which is almost $30 billion if that's all you did. Okay, now, most likely, he says here, I will be able to reward 1 billion cookies to each of these TBC builders, regardless of their class, throughout the entire distribution phase. Okay, do you understand what he just said? Like if it takes us 2 years to get to $1 billion. For the next 2 years, he will most likely be able to give you that same reward of 10 full cookies during any time of the next 2 years. To each person that goes out and gets 100 people signed up and gotten their free gift and paid their $10, it's a $10 annual fee, but it includes a lifetime wallet with no transaction fees. Okay? It's nothing, people. Okay, but it's enough to make you take it seriously. Well, I spent something. It may only have been $10, which is nothing to me. Or it may have been, hey, I struggled because I live in a country where we're poor and we only make $1 or $2 a day, but I did come up with the $10. So I'm going to take this very seriously. You see, this is why the poorer the countries are, the more people are jumping into this, into our community, because they understand poverty more than we do. They have more of an open mind. They wake up every morning and they see it. They live it on a daily basis. We only see it when we see somebody outside a store, you know, down on their luck, and we reach in our pocket and give them some cash if we have cash, or maybe we'll use our card and buy them something in the store. Or we drive down the metropolitan streets in our big towns here, and we see these people on the sidewalk, just on both sides of the sidewalk, intense. And not just downtown. I'm talking about, you know, where I grew up, it was Southern California. They're all over the place. They're in Orange County. They're all over the place. It's ridiculous, okay? But it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It is the central banker's fault. And I'm not trying to put the blame on anybody, but you have to understand it is their fault. That they are the ones doing that. Okay, we don't have our money. We don't have money. That money we think we have in the bank, it's not ours. It's the Federal Reserve's money. Okay, so he goes on to say, if a bystander wants to become a TBC broadcaster, then they certainly deserve the exact same reward of 1 million cookies when they do even that first broadcast. So even that first broadcast, you will get 1 million cookies that is currently worth $84,000 for doing a half-hour broadcast. Where can you get paid $84,000 for working for a half hour, talking in front of a camera? All right. Then he goes on and says, I have a half dozen more activities I want to develop cookie rewards for. So you will see these additions soon. Okay? Now, isn't that admin? Isn't that what admin's always been? He's always doing something to make it better for us. It doesn't get any better than this. Okay. Then we're into the last paragraph, right? Yeah. Okay, so here it is. Let me clarify the role of a TBC broadcaster. The point of this task is to give our members a recognized platform for our members to, and he put it in capitals, find their voice. Okay, now I immediately understood what he said, but so many people have come to me and said, Paul, what is he talking about? Find our voice. Does he mean this? Does he mean that? Does he mean this? Okay, so here it is. He goes on to say, it takes most people time and a lot of practice to find their voice. Okay, he's building up to something. He's getting ready to tell us. Okay, he goes on and he says, so we do not expect people to find their voice. He keeps putting that in capitals because he wants it to be buried in our brains about what he is going to be explaining to us about finding our voice. Remember earlier he said he needs 1 million people with their voice? Okay, Let me go on. So we do not expect people to find their voice the very first time they do a broadcast. And this is where he puts it all in capitals. He says, you do not have to be a TBC expert to get the rewards of being a TBC broadcaster. So if a brand new member that just barely joins us or barely joined us wants to take the path of becoming a TBC billionaire one day, they should quickly figure out how to technically do a live YouTube broadcast and set it up in the Kringle Cash back office, and then do it at a scheduled time and wait for the approval of it from me, the admin, and then complete their purchase of at least $100 to collect the 100 million cookies, which is one full coin, which will make you a multi-billionaire. Do you understand what he just said? You can come in brand new, or you can already be a member. And if you learn how to do a live broadcast and you do your very first one, okay, and then it's approved, and it shows you how to get it approved. Boom. Then you're considered a broadcaster, which means you can receive these kinds of rewards. Okay? These kinds of rewards. What do you get for purchases? One coin. One coin for $100. You don't get that if you're not a broadcaster. You get only this much coin, right? 8,400. Okay. Now, watch what he says here. The first broadcast can be as simple as reading from the TBC blog for 30 minutes in order to qualify for the rewards. That's how easy it is, ladies and gentlemen, friends, fellow TBCians. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Learn how to do a live broadcast. I could probably create a video that will show you step by step how to do it. But I learned just by asking the question on Google, how do you do a live broadcast on YouTube? And I got a ton of videos that show you. A lot of them are old. I have to admit they're old, and they didn't quite work out when I went over and actually tried to do it. I said, well, it doesn't look the same. But I eventually found one that was recent enough that I figured it out. So I'll probably, if I get a chance, later on today, make a separate video and post it. Or maybe put it, I'll put it in the description of the video below all my videos from then on, or from now on. It's not that hard. You just go into your back office, you hit the creator button, you hit the live broadcast systems, you hit the events, you set up an event, you title it, you put a description in there, you put the day and the time you want, and then you click it, it creates a page, blah, blah, blah. You go over to Kringle Cash back office under broadcast for tomorrow, which is under the send button system, and you pick a spot, you stick your YouTube, link in there, and you put what language it is, and you're done. And then the next day at that time, you go back in and you do the same thing. It shows you how to do it. Okay, now I know that probably didn't help any of you, but but I'll make a video. But the thing that he's saying is it's so simple. You don't have to worry about trying to explain everything, especially if you're not an expert. Okay? I had been in the system a whole year before they started asking us to do broadcasting. So I had lots of things to talk about. Okay, but I definitely considered, well, you know, if I get nervous and I can't talk and I'm spitting out the both sides of my mouth, I'll just read a blog. And that's what he's telling us. The first broadcast right here in blue, I highlighted it, can be as simple as reading from the TBC blog for 30 minutes. Pick a blog, any blog that has an article on there that you think is good, and read it and say, hey, this is good. I want to talk about this. I want to read this over my first broadcast. And then you come on and you read it. You can be live, read it, or you can share your screen if you learn how to do that and read the actual blog. Like, you know, like here's the actual blog of what I've been reading you guys. Okay. It's just that I like to, this is what I do. Okay. All right. Then it goes on here in green. Once these new broadcasters learn how easy it is to use the search feature in the blog and the translator, if they don't speak English, they are in a good position to start answering questions about TBC. Okay? That's another thing, the issue that we come up with. Well, what if somebody asks, I'm on a live broadcast and they ask a question and I don't know the answer? Well, if you learn how to do a live broadcast, all you have to do is click on the blog system, which is right there, okay? And go up here, and somebody's got a question, and do a search for that question. Jay-Z. What the heck is Jay-Z doing there on that search? Anyway, a search, and it will pull up one of these blogs that will have an answer for you, okay, for that person. That helps. That helps. If you're just helping one person, that's all you need to do. Okay, that's what it's all about. I'm sorry, but I get notices from Bitcoinist.com. The Big Four Australian bank beats Bitcoin in money laundering. Okay, this is ridiculous. This is so funny. There's stuff here I'm going to show you at the end here, so hang in there. Okay, so again, he says, you don't have to be a TBC expert to be a TBC broadcaster. All that is needed is an honest effort. And with a consistency, the broadcasters get better and better over time. Okay? That's it. With consistency, if you keep doing 1 a week, 2 a week, 3 a week, 4 a week, 5 a week, whatever you can do, you not only get all these big rewards for helping our community grow, but you'll get so good at it. You'll get better. You know, it's like playing that guitar that's behind me. You see it every day on my broadcast. All it takes is consistency in practicing, but you've got to have a passion to fuel that consistency. Have a passion for TBC, folks, because I have it. How can you not have a passion if you're the like-minded individual and you want to get rid of the horror that's going on in this world that is created by a lack of money? We are enslaved by the central banking system, and we are getting rid of it. And at the same time, cryptocurrency is coming in all the countries around the world, and they're rebelling against the US dollar. It's coming. Money will be backed by gold. Cryptocurrency will come. It is coming. And even cryptocurrency is being backed by gold in Venezuela. And they're making deals with the Palestinians who have been slaughtered by the central banking system for decades because they've been slaves. They haven't had the power of money in their own hands. Okay, just like Venezuela. It decided not to go along with the plan, right? They're a socialist government. They decided not to go along with the central banking system. So the central banking system put sanctions on their oil. They can't sell their oil. But so what? Now they have cryptocurrency backed by their own gold. So now they can do what they want. They found a way to get around that central banking crap, their sanctions, and flip them off and say, take your US dollar and your sanctions and go jump off a bridge. Because times are changing and you guys are losing your power. And that's a fact. Okay, the last sentence here, the last two sentences, he says, the point is that each will find their voice. Now do you understand what find their voice is? Finding your voice is being able to talk on a live broadcast. Whether you start out reading the blogs and continue to read those blogs until you feel like you've got enough information where you can just talk without using a blog. You see, consistency will create that in you. You will have your voice at that time. You will be able to walk out and go anywhere, meet anybody, and if somebody asks you, what is this TBC? What are you doing? You'll be able to just whip it out. Well, this is what it is. Blah, 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 blah. Then they'll say, wow, you really know your stuff. You know, if you're that passionate about it, maybe I should, you know, go ahead and get involved in your community. Do you see what I'm saying? He wants 1 million of us like that. Okay, so that's it. Okay, I hope that you learned something, at least understood or understand now what this blog is about. Okay, the difference between the rewards, cookie rewards, and why he's doing this. This is amazing. It's one of the most amazing and powerful blogs I have read in the entire blog, 2-year blog history. And I have read some absolutely unbelievable blogs. But it's because I understand this. Okay. Now I'm just going to whip out and show you guys something that I find is fascinating. Okay. Even if it's for you new guys that or new people that may be watching this. Here's an article. Indonesia legitimizes cryptocurrencies, classifying them as commodities. Okay? The whole article will tell you what's going on in Indonesia. This is to let you know what's happening right now, okay? It's happening, people. It is the future. Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, just said that the cryptocurrency field will be mature in 10 years. That means completely mature like it was with the internet by 2000. All the people came in the 90s. All the people are coming into cryptocurrency now. Okay? Here's another article. Microsoft buys GitHub. Okay, GitHub is a market exchange, I think. Okay, Bitcoin developers call for an exit. You have to understand what's going on here. Okay? Because you've got the people on one side, and they're all for cryptocurrency once they find out. And then you've got the central bankers and the people they control and their puppets. The current billionaires that are billionaires because of the fiat, they're billionaires in fiat currency. Unless they've purchased gold and silver and they've got that, you know, that option there and they're protecting that wealth, they're in a world of hurt. Okay? Let me show you what else is going on. Here's another article. Chinese internet titan Baidu, if I'm saying that right, announces superchain blockchain protocol. Okay, I have not read this article yet. They released blockchain plays with changes. Okay, so they're just making it easy or resolving issues related to mining energy consumption. Okay, the point is they are moving to cryptocurrency. Now, people say, well, Paul, China outlawed the trading exchanges. You can't trade. They're not letting their people trade. Well, no, they're not, because they just backed up their yuan by gold. They need the people to have faith in their new gold-backed yuan. They want to be purchasing everything they purchase from other countries. They are the highest consumer of oil in the world. They want to buy all their oil with their yuan, not with the U.S. petrodollar / U.S. dollar / Federal Reserve note. They don't want to. They want to get out of their control. So they understand the blockchain. They're keeping it right there. But they're doing what they're doing. It takes time to move things forward, especially when you're coming from a country like China. Okay? It's common sense and logic, folks. Okay? But it's happening. Okay? But you're not going to see this on mainstream media. You're not going to see any of these articles. Here's another one. Est coin backs down as banking authorities bully Estonia. Now, I didn't even have to read the article to understand what this one is about. The central bankers right there, the banking authorities, the central banking system is bullying the country. Because what? They came out with their own coin. Okay? This is what they're going to continue to do. They're not going to go down without a fight. But I'm telling you, people, they don't have a choice. They're just scared. They're just trying to bully us. And you know what happens to bullies, right? Okay. So I just wanted to finish off that with just showing you some reality of what's going on. Okay. I'm glad I shared my screen because I look terrible today. I think I'm fighting maybe some allergies. It's been kind of weird, the weather in Vegas. Really hot, okay? We're in 3 digits. And but I have just felt, I don't know, like I've been fighting a cold or something. Because I sneeze it. I sneezed last night. That's something I very rarely do. It's like I sneeze like once every 3 years. But I sneezed like 6 times last night. So I probably didn't sleep good. So sorry about the way I look. But folks, all that matters is that I have passion, and I want to tell you about the unbelievable position that you guys are in right now who are listening to me and watching me, to not only help yourself, but help every single person you care about, every single person you love. And God tells us to love your fellow neighbor. That is the same as loving me, God. What's the first commandment? Love God with all your heart, mind, and strength. And the second is like the first, meaning it's the same. Love your neighbor as yourself. Your neighbor isn't the guy that lives next door. Your neighbor is every single human being in the world. Now that kind of changes the way we see when God says love your enemy, doesn't it? I mean, when you really think about loving your neighbor, you think, well, how can I love my enemy? Because he does not have control of what he's doing. God has a plan for every single one of us, and he is doing his will, just like he tells us. He's doing his will, and he's operating in each and every one of us for his own pleasure. And you may think and not like it because you were born created subject to vanity, and it wasn't of your choice. Okay? We are born sinning machines. We are born hating God. Just read the New Testament. It's all there. I was just named after the Apostle Paul. So I became obsessed with the Apostle Paul. I wanted to know everything that he was saying, because everybody was coming to me as I was growing up and saying, well, you can't understand what Paul says in the Bible. You really just can't understand it. But this is what he really means. Well, you know, I'm not what you call a secular Christian. I am a biblical Christian. Okay? I believe what the Bible tells me. I can read for myself. I don't need you telling me. Okay? I'll read it. This is what it says. You're telling me something opposite. Well, wait a second. It says this. Okay, don't get me started. But people, I see God's hand behind this. It is the time, just like it has been the time every time he's done something. Okay, he wouldn't be showing this and his hand in these things and what's going on in the world if he was just, you know, psych. He doesn't do that. He never has. And I guess that's why he gives us this faith and this hope, because we couldn't have faith and hope unless we had a small understanding of how he works. But a lot of us don't, but a lot of us do. Okay, so God bless America and God bless the country. God bless, I mean, the world. Because like I said yesterday in my live broadcast, you cannot make America great again unless you make the entire world great again. You just can't. Think about it. Common sense and logic. You can't heal America unless you heal the whole body. That's what Trump and the Patriots are doing. And that's what TBC, the Billion Coin, is all about. It's a separate entity in and of itself, which allows you and me, the regular person, just doing our lives, okay? We're not working for Trump. We're not busy doing, you know, some kind of thing, working with Kim Jong-un or working with Iran and Syria and Assad and working with the Russians. We're just people living our lives. But now we can be a part of that by simply joining our community and getting rid of global poverty. That's what it's all about. Okay? So let me quickly go over, see if anybody's even came on today. Lucy Brown, thank you for being here. I don't think I've seen you before. Stephen Cuffey, you're so awesome. I love your videos. Thank you for supporting me. Jules, thank you for coming. TBC Joe Stevens, thank you all you guys. I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate that you guys enjoyed what I said. I hope you got something out of it, because really I've been getting a lot of people asking me, what is going on with the cookie rewards? You know, and I looked around at a few videos and I couldn't find anybody talking about it. So I thought, well, I'll just do a live broadcast today on it. So thank you guys so much. This is going to be an interesting week. Okay. I love you guys. I'll be here again tomorrow, God willing, unless, you know, I get a doctor's appointment or something. And we'll talk again. All right. Have a fabulous day, night, wherever you guys are at. And we'll talk to you later.